Okay, so today on the Miami Hustle, we have Jayla Anderson back.
Hey guys.
So she was on episode 59 a couple months ago. I don't know if you guys remember. And I know a lot has changed since she's been on the show. And now it's me, it's not Chris. So I'm excited to interview her today and have her share her story. We've kind of been getting to know each other a little bit better in the past couple months. And I want to say that I feel like this is one of my sisters that I lost somewhere, somewhere out there. And I found her and she's here today. So I'm going to let her say hello and talk a little bit about pretty much what has changed since the last time that she was on here and what projects she's working on. I'm going to ask her a couple questions. We're going to get a little personal, but I'm just happy that she's here. So welcome, Jayla.
Hey y'all. My voice is a little raspy right now, but you watched the full interview, the last one?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, cool.
So Jayla, tell us a little bit more about what you've been working on, what's new with you. Catch us up, give us a tea.
So from the last time to now, I think I had just dropped Sleeping with the Enemy. And I was speaking a lot about like spiritual warfare then, and I can't really remember. But
You passed out at the club.
wow, that's about to be a year ago.
Yeah,
I was exhausted.
it happens.
Yeah, I remember. I was very exhausted. I was in an exhausted place. Boom. Okay. Fast forward, almost a year later. I'm in a completely different place than I was then. At that time, I won't even say that I was in a sad place. I was just very exhausted and overwhelmed, still figuring out the dream. However, I had a list of goals last year, and I'm finally getting to them. And my job let me go officially in October.
Wait. Tell me a little bit more about that. What happened with your job? I know we talked about it on the boat, and you kind of just shared a little bit about how it was time for you to go, but everything happens for a reason. So
Yeah.
I want to know a little bit more about why you didn't quit sooner and kind of, you don't have to get into the details, but pretty much what was that pivotal moment where you were like, all right, it's time for me to stop playing?
When my boss called me and forced me to do it, that was the moment because I just had a lot of fear. And I took a big risk and moved to Atlanta 2 years prior to that. So I was just feeling like I was just getting it going. And even though I had a lot of fear, I just knew that's not where I was supposed to be at. And I would tell anybody, yes, quit your job. I don't care what the economy is, etc., all that different stuff. If it's for you, go for it. Now, if it's not for you, don't do it. I'm not telling you to quit your job. And you can work a 9 to 5 and chase your dreams too. So don't ever think that you can't. However, I got to the point where it was time to go like all in, no more playing. And I had been battling it for months. And I remember it was a meeting we had in the summertime and my other boss was leaving. And I heard my boss say like sometimes it's just time to move on. And I felt like she was speaking to me. But the boss that stayed and that still works there, she was like, and what you gonna do? And blah, 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 etc. So she was like, I think you should think about it. And I thought about it. I was like, okay, cool. So that might have been like July. And I swear August went by, September. And by the end of September, my boss was calling me in the office and was like, I think this chapter in your life is done. And she was just like,
Wild.
you need to go do what you need to do. She was like, so what's the plan? To be honest, I really had a plan, but I was still scared. But I went for it. And she was like, give me a date. And I told her, yeah, she told me to give her a date, and I gave her a date. And when I came back and told her that date, she said she had already known her spirit that I was going to give her that date. And I went for it, and I left. And I swear I've been walking on faith ever since. And it's nowhere near easy, but it's a faith thing. And yeah, so I'm like 6 months in now. And I think this is the hardest it's ever been right now. Like, yeah, because I feel like stuff keep going wrong. Out of nowhere, like, stuff is just going wrong. But for some reason, I'm not mad or, like, stressed.
Right.
Before, I used to get exhausted and be stressed. For some reason, it's like I'm real calm in the storm right now. And then I would tell anybody, go for it still. I can't tell you what's next, but I know it's going to be good.
I agree. I think one of the hardest things, because I had to do it too, and I think anyone that took that leap of faith went through it. And the issue is that we always know, but like you said, you're afraid, the fear of the unknown, the fear of just like what is going on, But I feel like if God gave you a vision and He gave you a gift, and you have to walk by faith. And if you don't do that, it's never going to come into fruition.
Yeah.
So other than what happened at your job, was there another moment or something that happened to you, maybe in the real life, or maybe it was a dream or something that was like a tap on the shoulder, was like, it's time?
Yes, Saturday. So, like, I'm from Miami Gardens, y'all. Like, Miami Gardens, the real inner city, Miami, like, where it goes down at. And I have a really, like, I guess you would call it now, I don't like to say local celebrity, but I'm, like, have elevated completely, like, to that level now. And I had the chance to perform. And this weekend, on the way to my rehearsal, my tire popped. I was getting out the expressway and I heard it and I was like, what is that? But went there, got a little donut put on or whatever. So that pushed me back like timing. And then in that moment, I never had a team. And that's something I feel like I let hold myself back because I never felt like secure enough. Like I could, even though I do a lot by myself, that's a field that I feel a lot of loneliness in. Like, because I do a lot of stuff. You would think I have a whole army behind me, but I don't. And I missed my performance the second time around because trying to get ready, rush back, the donut started acting up. I missed my performance. And in that moment, like, I was kind of sad about it because I went through something for like 3 years. On top of that, like a friendship breakup, and we did everything together. So in the 3 years, it forced me to really like start facing everything hands on, and you have to trust people with what I do, and that's so hard for me. And it's like everybody come along, but don't nobody stick with it all the way through because it's a dream, and everybody had their own life going on. And Saturday, I was like, you know what? It's showtime. Like, I don't care. I ain't got nothing to lose no more. I done lost my job. I know what it's like to have bills and my debit card. It's just like stuff be happening. And I was like, I'm not letting none of that come in the way. And I was like, this is my moment, because when I was out there, it was like I was Michelle Obama to everybody. Like, it was just really like that big. And so many people was actually waiting to see me perform. And I was like, yeah, it's time.
That's awesome. I think things like that have to happen, and I think that the best thing that you could have done, which is what you did, although I'm pretty sure you were like, damn, I really wanted to perform.
I really did.
I'm pretty sure at the same time it was like confirmation that you're on your path and that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and that you're at the right place at the right time, even though it popped your tire.
Yep, and it went exactly how it was supposed to be, because I think my first big show gonna be really big.
That's awesome.
Gonna be big. It went just how I was supposed to. But it was in that moment, I was like, yeah, you her. You her. You are her.
That's awesome. So I was supposed to go. I couldn't make it. And once again, everything happens for a reason. But I was checking on you. I was like, hey, what's going on? And I know it's true what you're saying. When you don't have a team and you're starting off, it's so hard. Because it's not that you can't do it. But at the end of the day, you're one person. Like, how can you get ready and drive and set up the stage and do this all at the same time? Like, it's rough. But I think the fact that you haven't made that an excuse is great. So kudos to you. Yeah. Now, I want to ask you a little bit more about, I know we've been talking about it and you've been working a lot on another project, right, that you have going on, tapping more into, I know you have your musical career, but now you're tapping more into your acting career. So I want to know a little bit more about that and how that's going, how you found your character, how you found the character's husband. So tell us a little bit more about Nita.
So actually, this was all a part of the plan 3 years ago. However, I started just doing music. But when it comes to me, it's like, even musically, I come alive like Jade. She like another person. Like, I just come alive to that. Like, when I'm performing, etc. It's just something about when I'm in front of a camera. And like, over time, to know me is to know like I'm really a lover girl, but a lot of people probably think I'm like a hot girl. But it's just like...
You can be both.
Yeah. And it's like, when that other one come on, I was like, it's still like acting to me. Like, it's still acting. Like, I'm not fronting, but it's just like, I know how to just like transition. So Nita, I had her written. I lied. I was doing toxic skits with my colleague Fat and Funny. And I was like, she was very toxic. She'll cuss you out, etc. Like, she would let you have it. And I think I'm a little toxic in real life. A little toxic
I
in
think
real
we
life.
all are. All Miami girls are a little
Yes,
toxic. I don't
am
care
a
what
little
nobody says.
toxic, and we're gonna talk about that a little more because that's a whole other thing for the other day. But I am a little toxic, and I give everybody a run for their money, and I had that character going, but I still would never really look at it like that. I was just doing stuff. So when Nita came about, her name was originally Auntie Brenda, and I had it written 3 years ago when I moved to Atlanta. Remember, I said I took a big risk. When I moved to Atlanta, I was afraid to do it. And last year, about this time, I had rewritten out everything, and I was like, Tales of Jayla. And it was a story because I'm really an old lady, too. Like, that's naturally, like, I'm 60, 75 years old. That's the type of music I listen to. If you really speak to me, I'm very wise. Like, when you get to know me like that, everybody come to me for advice, etc. And I naturally attract, like, older people. Like, it's something about my spirit that just does it. And I was just like, I'm gonna order a wig and I'm gonna do this. And when I put it on the wig, it made it so funny because people already think I'm funny. But it just made it so funny. And it's like when I started doing it, I was very shy. I was afraid. And Nita, she just started growing as I started building her. Like I started doing like little mini movies, but I was like, no, I want them to really feel her, like touch her, like she's a real person. And people really be like, I'm thinking it's a real auntie. They think she's real. And I started building Nita just like off the aunties. Everybody got an auntie in the hood that gotta go to a little 27-piece wig or who just be saying whatever, giving you good advice. And she was just relatable from so many different things. And in time, like, I put a little comedic relief on it with her little young boyfriend. Because a lot of aunties don't be having them a little young boyfriend. My mom used to have a young boyfriend. Well, she might kill me for saying that. A young boyfriend back in the day. And like I got her look like from one of my other aunts who wear like the Bermuda shorts and she got a gold. So it's just like she come from like just, being from Miami, everybody having a ghetto auntie. I don't know where the accent come from. It just came to life and I stuck with it. I'd never practiced it.
That's
nothing. Awesome. And now she got a husband named Charles, and Charles is a really good man. I feel like I manifested my husband. Charles is a really good man. And Charles, that's how we saying it. Charles is a good man and he takes care of me really good. Charles is a great man and that's her husband. So Nita is just on the rise. I'm developing her as I go. She already done hit 1 million views on one video. She about to hit that 1 million 2 times on another video. And that's Tales of Jayla, and it basically just tells the stories. There's so many versions to me. And when it comes to the acting, it's just so easy to me. It don't feel like acting, but to the world it's acting. But I'm just really like, just letting all that's in me that's been hidden under that fear just come to the light. But if you've been around me, you really know, like, this girl ain't acting, but it's just a little fabricated now. And I guess, you put a name on it as you get more into the business, and it's just like, she's a natural. So it's just like everything comes easy to me. And what I'm doing with Jayla is turning it to a character where the music would be more like soundtrack, etc. And it's more of a story, than real life, because a lot of people in the city, and maybe not in the inner city, I'm just speaking from where I'm from, go for it and never really make it, and there's never really nobody there to tell their story.
Yeah.
You just hear about it. So what I'm doing is catching everybody's attention. Like even at the picnic Saturday, it was like I was Issa Rae, Tyler Perry. Like everybody like, I want to act, I want to do this, put me in it. So it's just like something that I was sitting on that's just coming to life and it's working.
That's awesome.
And it came about when I lost that job. I went for it.
When you lost your job, were you kind of like fearful of how you were gonna make money and no?
No, I thought about it, but no. I think I get more fearful just as the first of the month come. But other than that, no. No, because it just be like, but I thank God, like, my apartment people, they work with me because I be late. Like, people think I just got it all together. No, I just know how to look good, put it together. Baby, I struggle like y'all. I tell y'all that all the time. I always got some shit going on. I mean, some
You're
stuff
fine,
going on.
girl. Be yourself. Be yourself.
I was like, I always got something going on. Like, my life is so dramatic. It's so dramatic. It's a movie, literally.
What do you think has been like the most challenging thing for you growing up? I know we were kind of talking about it. And just what the hardest thing has been for you growing up, like with your upbringing, being from Miami, and then knowing that at some point you're going to go up against all these other stars from Atlanta, from everywhere else. What has been the biggest challenge for you, and what do you feel sets you apart from everybody else in an industry that is so I guess you could say oversaturated. Yep.
I don't feel like the industry oversaturated because I feel like everybody have a gift and everybody have something different about them.
Mm-hmm.
My aura, my energy is just different. Like the way my talent is one thing with me, but who I am as a person seems to just grab people like my energy. I make friends all the time, and it either goes two ways. They gonna get intimidated or they gonna love me. And it's because I'm me. Like, I'm gonna always be me. And I think what makes me different is that I think I have my own little swag to it. Like, it's old school. It's very soulful. It's like an older person in the young generation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different because when I first started doing music, a lot of people was like, why she rapping on them old beats and stuff like that? Like, what is this? You know, like, she rap old school. But when people hear it, they like know that's hits. But at the same time, it's like, well, what is she doing? Because she's so talented. And that's what makes me know that I'm different because to be on my own doing this, I look at people like Jamie Foxx.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Foxx, like I said, Issa Rae, Tyler Perry. All of those people found their way even with it. But it's the stories that make you different and what make you stand out. And my daddy always told me, if you could tell a good story, you gonna forever win.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like my life in itself, the struggle growing up, what I've been faced with, a lot of stuff that I went through. I come from a lot of trauma, especially like family history, background, etc. So I think the story is what makes me different. And then the talent, the energy, the aura is what makes me stand apart and be, you just got to know me to know, like to see it. And when a lot of people see it, they know. It don't matter where I'm at, where I'm going, it's people going just stop. And I'm still learning that about myself too. Like, it's something, I don't know, that's a gift from God. It's something that just shines bright. And I think that's what made me different.
I agree. I remember when I met you, I thought you were a character in a good way. And I could see the intimidation aspect from some individuals, but at the same time...
And I barely said anything.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't, because I relate with you a lot in that regard, because people meet me and they think I'm mean and they think I'm not approachable. And, like, you get to know me and I'm silly and I'm fun, like, you know. So I get that a lot, and I know exactly what you're saying. And it's usually females, although sometimes it is men as well. It's a lot of men.
I was going to say it's both of them.
It's a lot of men who are so intimidated and they feel, I don't even know why. And it's just like, I've noticed as I've gotten older, that's a you problem. Like, I have nothing to do with that.
Don't dim your light.
Right. So that's something that I've had to learn. And, you know, I'm sure this has happened to you too, where, you know, when you do a business or you have a career like yours, it's like you're always out and you're always in the spotlight. And people always hate, like, for no reason. But I've just learned that it's what you're saying. Be yourself, you know, shine your light. Who's supposed to stay around is going to stay around. I don't know about you. I've lost a lot of friends and I've lost a lot of people in my life. And it's painful. It hurts because we're human. But at the same time, it's like God is literally removing all the things that don't belong, that are pretty much obstructing your path to where you're trying to get. So I want to talk a little bit more about that. You don't have to get personal, but it's something that I've had to go through, and I know a lot of people trying to make it in their career and their business, right? So has there ever been a moment in your life, in your career, where that happened, like you had a fallout with a close friend or it ruined your relationship, and how did you manage it?
Yeah. I fell out with somebody that was like a sister to me, a best friend. And now that I'm coming out of it, I realize that it was like very heavy for me. It's worse than a relationship breakup. Yeah. And I think for me, because like, even though I'm a fun, bubbly person, I might be a little open, I'm still guarded at the same time. And that was like the person who was in, like she was in there. And when we separated, like I knew it was coming, but I didn't expect it to happen the way it happened. And it wasn't easy. And I understand that, you know, it's life. Everybody grow at different paths, different things. But that like changed my entire reality. And I feel for the first time, I'm just getting back into that place. And for a long time, it was hard for me. I think I was like vulnerable for friends. So I went through a lot of stuff afterwards because I was still trying to keep my show moving.
Right.
After having it this way, like being with this one person all the time and keep my show moving. And it was just like a whole reality change, a whole shift for me. And I cried a lot. Like I think I was depressed and didn't even know. Like I cried a lot. And that heartbreak, I think the blessings come after the heartbreak because now through it all, like I feel myself changing, I feel myself evolving, I feel myself learning, even understanding ways that maybe I could have did things, etc. You know, like because we're not always perfect, and just as much as I feel some kind of way, somebody else could feel some kind of way about me too.
Right.
And I just learned like I'm not for everybody. I'm not going
Preach.
to I'm not for everybody, and everybody ain't for me.
Yes.
So once I started understanding that, it kind of helped me to be to myself, but also still be transparent and still be my fun, friendly self. Because in the world, you know, people are like, you can't be too friendly. You can be friendly.
Yeah.
You just have boundaries
Correct.
and no limits and how far to take it with people. And also with the platform I have, it's tough too. Because like I had somebody around me who started playing on my phone from like, it was just like, annoying every day, text-free numbers, just texting, harassing me, bothering me, picking at me, just saying whatever. And I knew it was somebody that was around me. So it also taught me too, like in the limelight that I'm in, how to be guarded, how to be cautious. Because people love a good time. And people love you and are fan of you till they get around you and realize like, dang, I want to be like that. She really got it. Like people, it'll be times like, I am who I am. I'm going to always tell people like, be you, do you, because I'm going to dress up. I'm going to be me. I don't try to take the show. It naturally happens. And a lot of people not comfortable in their skin. So now I have this thing like, if you're not secure in yourself, don't come around me. Because you got to be secure in yourself. And that's the thing. Like, when you have a light, you attract everything. And a lot of people who are insecure are attracted to me because it's like, wow, I want to be like this. But once you get around it, you can't keep up. And then it's just like, now it's intimidation and jealousy and all those different things. And now I'm just kind of at a place where it's just like, yeah, I'll be by myself. But like, I like trying to meet different friends. Like, you and I be hanging out. That just naturally happened.
Yeah.
And I try to do things outside of my comfort zone and people who, and it's not to knock anybody, but like people from my past and all that different stuff who felt like they knew me then. We don't really have nothing in common no more. And now you just see me doing good and you're trying to come around for a good time. But I try to keep it to a minimum because I'm an open person and I hate having to be like zip it all the time. That's not who I am.
Right.
I'm an open person. Like, if you call me, I'll be like, girl, this happening. Blah, blah. That's who I am. So I try to just be aware of who I have around me so that I don't have to keep not being myself with somebody else who ain't shit, you know? So it's just like one of them things with friendships. It was like a reality change for me, like a real reality shift. But it helped me understand that it's life. Everybody can't go. And you can't go with everybody, so.
You're preaching because everything that you're saying has happened to me in a different way. And it's just like, you know, people sometimes they're like, oh, you're so quick to move on. You're so like, you know, you keep it moving, whatever. And I was like, well, what else am I going to do? Like, I'm going to sit here and cry about it. And I always tell people, like, take your moment, feel what you have to feel, cry your tears, but you can't stay stuck. Exactly.
And I felt like I was stuck. You see, I said it 3 years. I was stuck. And I just realizing that I was stuck. That's how bad it was. I would never do that again. All it took was one.
Yeah. No, but you're preaching, and it's true what you're saying. Like, it's business, and just what we do has really taught me that a lot of people really are insecure. And I almost don't understand it because you and I are no different. Like, in terms of what we can achieve or whatever, we just took a chance on ourselves, and that's pretty much what we're making it happen. But there's some people who just, like, that's why they don't like you. And I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, go do the work.
I got to the point now, I'd be like, I don't care. At first, I used to be like, oh my gosh, why they don't like me? Because I wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
But then I had to get used to it because I got my knees scraped up 1,000 times when it comes to friendships. That's one lesson that I genuinely believe God was not going to bless me until I got down pat because it would have took me out. I had so much negativity around me, and I ain't even know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What would you say in everything that you've shared, and even in the last year, from the last time that you were sharing, you know, you were talking about your interview last year, what do you think has been one of the biggest mental or spiritual battles that you've had to really encounter, and how have you managed it?
Keeping the faith and understanding that, like, when you accept an assignment and you really trying to do right by God, the devil gonna come. And you can't even get mad at it. You just need to be aware because he'll use anybody. And don't beat yourself up about it, because sometimes it's just life. Like, you got to keep doing it until you get it. And I also learned that everything is not the devil. Something is a test from God, like, just to see. And it's up to us to know the difference, And I just learned, if it aligns with the word of God, it's from God. If it doesn't, it's not. And I think mentally that helped me out a lot, because I got to a place where I was by myself and I was able to hear myself and even understand like my toxic ways to myself with people. And it helped me really just become self-aware. Mm-hmm. And I think from last year to now, like, I've just in 6 months, I've completely changed into a different person. I can't even say from back then, because I still do like some things, but now it's just like, I feel that I'm more, that's it, self-aware. Self-aware, because I've always been ahead of my game. I just do stuff for the plot. I'm always doing stuff for the plot, but I'm just learning that I'm getting older, accountability and responsibility. Right. And to whom much is given, much is required, and a lot of stuff I just can't do no more. And I'm still working on it. I had a good day Saturday. I did some dumb stuff, but
it's okay, we're not perfect.
Yeah, I just blocked it and keep moving. It's a new day.
Exactly. On that topic.
But I'm getting better, though.
On that topic, because you were talking about how, you're toxic, and I'm like, yeah, we're all a little toxic, especially in Miami. We're all a little toxic. I don't care
Men love toxic.
Yes, they do. And yes, ma'am, they do. So what is the most toxic thing about Jayla?
You want to be honest? The most toxic thing, you know what, this is a good one. The most toxic thing about me is that when it comes to dating, you would think I have a boyfriend. Like, the guys, my friends that I have, they probably think I have a boyfriend, and I don't. Mm-hmm. I just get in moods where I shut everybody out and I go do what I got to do. And then when I'm in the mood to go back outside and have fun, I want to be bothered. So that's really like inconsistent on my behalf. And
at least you're honest.
Yeah, and I think it's inconsistent on my behalf. So people always think like I have something more going on, and I don't. And
you heard it here first. She don't.
Yeah, and I don't. And it's just like the things that they have going on, I don't be having the energy to deal with that, because I have this dream that I'm like really doing, and I'm doing it. And for the first time, I realized a lot of that stuff, that baggage that they come with, is a distraction. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I'm at a place now where like I've accepted that they probably won't be my man, but they're great friends. And I have to get to a point where I just got to let it be.
Right.
So now that I'm letting it be, it's really like, well, what's wrong? And it's just like, I know where I'm going and I know what I'm doing. And at this point in my life, I either need a man that's all in with me or nothing at all. And until then, I just have to deal with you like I deal with you, because you can't give me what I need on a day-to-day basis. And I'm able to provide that for myself. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even speaking on finances. I'm just speaking on how I fill myself up, because money is not everything when it comes to relationships. It's a plus. I'm grateful for it. I've done it. Like, I've dated the athlete, have a guy pay my bills. Like, I did all of that, and it's not like having somebody that's just real, like a real person that keep it real with you and really good to you and really want to see you win. That's rare. So now I'm at a place in my life, it's like I had my fun, and I was able to have my fun while I was figuring it out, because I'm still learning. When I was last in a real relationship, I was younger. And once I graduated college, I broke up with him because he was a great guy, but I just had a lot of drive, and I knew where I was trying to go, and it was just to get to this point. So in between that time of me finding myself, of course, I dated, and I tried a lot of different music. I was building my career up, and now that I'm here, I don't have time for that. Back then, I could dip and dab because I was still young and figuring it out, but I'm 30 years old. I'm a grown-ass woman. I got real shit going on. So at this point in my life, I have to have somebody that's all in, or either we're
get out.
Friends. Yeah. Because it's like sometimes people don't work, but you can be great friends, but you got to have that boundary of we're just friends. But you either all in with me or you all out. Because for one, I know I'm the package. I know I'm the package. So come with it now at this point. It's just like, if not, I'm going to have to treat you like I treat you, because I'm over here and you got too much other stuff going on. And I can't have that energy in my life like that. I can't do it. Sorry. Sorry, love.
I agree. And I hit, like, everything that you were saying, I feel like you hit the nail on the head, because I agree with you 1,000%. That's the same thing that I encounter. And not just that, but people, love to say, because it's true what you're saying, and it goes back to exactly what you were talking about, is they feel the energy, they want to tap into the energy, they want to deplete you of your energy, whether you realize it or not. Because if they're not giving you that same energy, they're depleting you.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is that, like what you're saying, I don't have time to be depleted. I don't have time to waste time. Like, we're either all in or we're just having fun. We're friends. We're hanging out.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's okay, too, because it's considered dating at that point. And personally, I don't feel like, I mean, if you haven't been, like, drastically heartbroken, I don't think when people be like, I just stopped dating and I stopped doing it, I still try to keep my...
Your mojo?
Yeah, because I don't want to get so stuck on myself that I forget what it's like to even deal with a person. Mm-hmm. And then now I'm this independent woman who just like have a zero tolerance for everything and like nobody's perfect.
Right.
So that's something that I keep in mind. That's one thing that I don't want for myself, to be this independent woman with no man. No, to be honest, I like just being independent in my career, and I would rather my husband take care of everything else. Like, that's why I need a man who's secure and successful within himself already, because that's the only man that's going to be able to
help you.
Help me.
Mm-hmm.
If he's still trying to get it, it becomes like a little jealousy thing, competition, and it's just like, I can't keep up with her, you know? And it's
they get overwhelmed very easily.
And it's not even just about money, because they can provide. It's just, if they not where they are within with themselves, it's just never going to work. It's always going to be a little jealousy there. So at this point, now I'm just like, whoever he is, I'm single, and I'm waiting for him, and he probably doing the same thing I'm doing. He probably tired of buying Chanel bags and like, these girls ain't got nothing. He probably like, these girls ain't got nothing going on. I want somebody who got something. Like, I would love to give her all of this. That's what my husband's saying right now. However, like, I'm just at a place, like, at this point, the person that I choose to be with, he has to really, like, come with it. If not, it's just like, everything is whatever. I might block you today after we hang out, have a good time, and you ain't did nothing to me. It's just, I'm back to work. You got to go. You was a good time. And that's just how I see you now, as a good time, because you showed me that you're not worthy enough to be my man, and I'm not finna sit around and beg you to act right. You know what you did. I'm sure I expressed it to you, so now it's just like, okay, cool. This the role you want to play. Sit over there, play your part. I did what you want, I did with you. See you later.
Perfectly said. I couldn't have said it better myself, because that's the reality. So, men out there, if you want a woman like Jayla, like myself, you know, who we're about our business, we're serious, you better come correct.
Yeah, and I'm really a lover girl, and I can't wait for me to really just be free with that side, because I love to love, but it's just like,
you can't love everybody. I had to learn that the hard way.
Nah.
You can't, and you know what I also learned? I was talking to my friend about this. Unless I'm your wife, I'm not your wife. You're not getting the wife treatment. I'm so sorry.
We're not doing all that wifey, boyfriend, girlfriend stuff with a title.
Doing it.
We're not putting houses in my name, boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, you a fool if you do that. Got all that exchange. Because basically at that point, that man's using you.
Basically.
And women be doing all that extra stuff. Like, no, I'd rather be like struggling on my own than to go do all of this with a man, and we not even, unless y'all just agree y'all don't want marriage, that's cool. I don't understand that, so I can't speak on it. I'm speaking to people who do want marriage, and they doing boyfriend and girlfriend stuff. But it's just like, I'm not doing no man not finna use me up and build all this up with me, then finally get to where he trying to go, then go get the woman that he really want now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that. Women, that's why they being used up, because they doing all that girlfriend, boyfriend stuff, all this, and ain't doing nothing. Child, please. And they still out doing them, looking for their wife.
You know what? It takes time. I'm not even gonna talk trash about them, because once upon a time I was that girl. I was also 10 years younger. You know, so it's like
the little girl. This ain't for little girls. This time, the young ladies, this is for you to be inspired. This ain't no little girl talk. You was young then.
Yeah,
different.
But still, it's like I had to go through those things now.
Yeah.
And there's something. It's so funny that you bring that up. Something my mom has always told me, which I always understood it, but I never understood it until I got older. She said, don't ever chase a man. Yeah. She said, you could be in love, they could break your heart, that could be the love of your life, but if that man goes, you let him go and you don't ever chase him. Yeah. Because women are not supposed to chase. Mm-hmm. Women are supposed to be chased, or let's use the proper word, right? You have to court me. You have to pursue me. If you're a woman and you're pursuing, you are not in your rightful woman place. So you're not going to get what you want. And I had to figure that out. It took me a little minute, but I finally got it. Mm-hmm. And it goes back to the principles of what is the role of a man? What is the role of a woman? Doesn't mean that we both can't take turns doing things, but it's true what you're saying. It's like, you have to set that expectation and you have to act on what your role is. Because if you're playing both roles, you're being a provider, you're doing this, you're doing that. Something along the way, this is not going to work. The puzzle pieces are not going to come together.
And I just feel like, too, that take away from the man. Like, he's supposed to do all of that. So I don't care what nobody say. Like, the man, to me, I'm an independent woman, and I'm not an advocate for, we have to do everything, we have the rights. No, sit down and be a lady and let that man do his job. And that's why a lot of men getting soft, because these women don't let them do their job. Y'all keep trying to be their mama and pat him on the back and meet them halfway. No. Make him step it up. And you do that by sitting that. When a woman is relaxed, etc., a man come, here, you need this. They want to do it for you.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it's supposed to be in relationships. And I know everybody's household is different, and the economy is not all what it's made up to be. But a lot of times, you just need to let these men get on their hustle and work, and you shut up, sit back, and do your duties. Even if you do work hard, that's your work. When you come in the house, you belong to him now. Like, not like you belong to him, but
Yeah, I get it.
you get in the house and you do your job because you chose to be an independent woman. You get what I'm saying? That's like a choice as a woman. Like, I chose this life, So if I meet a man who still wants traditional things as a woman, I have a choice to say, yes, I'm going to deal with this, or I'm not. I can't go in there like, I don't have time. You knew that before what that man wanted.
Right.
So it's just like...
And that goes both ways, by the way.
Yeah. So it's like, you knew who I was and you knew what this was. So you have to come to that mutual point. And I think that also comes to terms with being honest about who you are and not trying to be picked. Really be true about what you want and what you expect, because that's when the chasing and all that comes. The other person might start realizing, like, this ain't what I want. Now the other person chasing, looking for what they was looking for in the beginning. It's just like, this ain't what it was. Be yourself.
Yeah.
And that's how I think you could get, like, come to terms with all of that. And it really ain't a chase. It's like, I love you, you love me. I can pour into you, you pour into me. And he gonna keep coming back for that.
That's true. That's true.
He gonna be like, this is it.
You're preaching, girl. I want to switch gears a little bit because you mentioned something, and I want to know what Jayla thinks is the definition of a hustler or hustling, and how do you embody that?
A hustler to me is a person who gonna go get it. It's not all about the money. It's not all about the money, because being a hustler, that means you know how to go get it. And sometimes being a hustler is not always a good thing. Like, I learned that within myself. Like, sometimes that's a trauma response. I always have to go get it.
Fight or flight.
Yeah, so
Facts.
To me, a hustler is somebody who know how to go get it and go provide and make it happen by any means necessary. The type of hustler, it levels, like, you might be a lazy, like, I feel like I'm a lazy hustler sometimes. Like, I could be tough, but some days I just really just want to be a lady. And I don't always want to do that, Before, I was very masculine. Like, I felt like I had to do this. I was the man for myself, and that's just because I always had to be. And in my head, like, that's a hustler. A hustler is a very masculine trait. And it's somebody who know how to go get it. They gonna provide by any means. Hustling is not always like I sell drugs or scam and all that.
Right.
You got this business going on. You got this going. You in this bag. You working your 9 to 5. Somebody who know how to get up and go get it by any means, regardless. Like, hustling don't always mean you rich. Hustling don't always mean you're gonna be broke. So a hustler to me is just like somebody who get up every day and choose to go get it. Like, no matter what it is, I'm gonna provide by any means. That's a hustler to me. I feel like that's me. But I don't feel like I'm a hustler.
You don't feel like you embody the definition of what a hustler is.
Yeah. It's in me. I'm like, it's in me. That's in my bloodline.
You're wired, yeah.
It's in my bloodline. But something that I learned as I evolve, and one of my guy friends put me in this soft spot, he was the first person I dealt with that really provided for me. And it was a big challenge. And it made me really lock in more with my purpose versus hustling all over the place. And I noticed a shift in that. Like, I still have it in my nature, but it's like now it all makes sense. Because sometimes you could be a hustler, you just all over the place. You just like, I got to get it. And that's why I think now I'm kind of evolving with it now, because it all got to make sense to me. And I can't just be all over the place. Like, I got this, I got a goal, I got to focus on this, I got to lock in. I still got that go-getter drive.
Right.
But now it's just like I'm going this
It's
way.
linear rather than
Yeah.
being all over the place.
Yeah, because the hustle, you can be everywhere, like, pow, pow, pow. And it's easy. You get it done, too. They be like, how you do it all? That's why you can't let nobody tell you what you can't do. Because just because you can't do it don't mean I can. Like, I might be a machine. I might know how to wake up and go get it, you know?
Yeah.
Being a hustler can be intimidating to people. Because it'd be like, dang, she really know how to go get it. And do.
I mean, just do it. Like,
Yep. How you feel about that?
I mean, I agree with you. I feel, and speaking personally, right, for me, it's definitely a fight or flight response, because that's just pretty much what I've done my entire life. But outside of being a fight or flight, I feel like it's also my drive and my ambition. Like, I feel like for you to really be out here hustling, like you said, like, it might not be you got a bunch of jobs. Like, for me, it's like I have multiple businesses, and I'm always trying to look at what can I do next, and who could I get involved with, and who can I meet, and who could I, like, what's next? Like, what are the moves?
You never stop.
Yeah, but I love it though. Like it for me, it's like a,
when you're not doing nothing, you feel like something wrong.
yes, but that's also a bad thing. It's what you were saying. It's like as you
balance.
As you evolve, I feel like your hustle has to evolve. It needs to be more disciplined. It needs to be more organized. It needs to be more purposeful. It can't just be I'm out here just getting it to get it. Like,
no, it gotta make
for
sense.
what, you know? Like, why? So what is Jayla's why?
My family.
Yeah.
Because, like, my dad went to prison when we was kids. We was up back then, but he went to prison. My daddy, a hustler, a real one. And my family, and I just feel like when my dad leaving brought a lot of trauma and dysfunction to my family. And it's just like, we might not be perfect, but I do want to be like the first to be able to provide for my family, even if we don't all have it together. Somebody to come in and do something different and give us another way out. Because, like, my mom, she had to work overtime, single mom, do all this different stuff. Who knows what she was up against? And it's just like my family. And I just remember being that little girl that's just, like, lonely and, you know, like, having to do hair. I was doing hair in high school. Having to do hair, always trying to figure it out because it was just like, who gonna do this for me? And I think about the girl in college trying to figure it out. And it's just like, between my family and just me being that little girl who always like, you couldn't tell me nothing. I think that's my why. Like, it's me and my family. Because we done been through a lot. And somebody got to change the directory. And I'm like, I ain't going through all this for nothing. It's for them. I mean, it's for me too, but it's bigger than me. It's not just to be selfish and bless me. It's my family, my nephews, get them something different. Like, I think about having, like, big Christmas parties at my house and having a family function, sending my family trucks to get picked up, you know, to have a good time, DJs. And I also think about, like, my husband family, like, having gatherings, big Christmas trees, you know, doing something different.
You just want to be a blessing to others.
Yeah. That's really it. Like, really just do for everybody, regardless of what, you know, like, what happens or what is really, like, I had them visions in my head. It's like, give my family something different, you know, bring everybody together. Hopefully it go right, but
it's gonna go right. And sometime in the future, we're gonna sit down in your mansion, and that's where we're gonna be shooting out of, and you're gonna talk about the testimony. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to bring it to a landing here, wrap it up, and I want to ask you, with everything you've shared, because you've shared so much, and thank you.
Did.
Yes, but it's been great though. Thank you for sharing. I wanted to ask you, if you had to have a conversation with your younger self, right? Whether it's Jayla, Jade, whomever you want to talk to.
Jade.
What advice would you give her? You can talk to her if you want. What advice would you give her to just give her some, like, it's going to be okay? You know, what would you tell her?
I would tell my younger self, and she probably wouldn't even know what this was then, but you are enough. Like, you are enough. You might have always been different. You might have always been the black sheep, a little loud to some, maybe not perfectly fit for the others, or you are enough. You're talented. You're beautiful. And I would tell her right now that all of those things that you were insecure of is going to make you a star. And you're going to be a star, and you're going to be the biggest thing, and your story is going to help a lot of other girls. And what you're going through, you don't even know what you're going through, but one day you'll understand later. That's what I tell her.
That's great. I think that's what every little girl needs to hear.
Yeah.
So I love that. That was beautiful. Are there any final thoughts or anything that you want to share about any upcoming performances that you have or anything that you want to let anyone know about or how they could find you?
Just
Refresh.
stay tuned with Just Talking with Jayla. You see, I could talk right now. We're going to be just talking with Jayla. Jayla Anderson on all platforms, JLAANDERSON. Tales of Jayla. Just stay tuned. It's a lot of music, acting, and success combined in one. Just follow me. I don't even have nothing to say. I'm done talking. I feel like I talk enough on my videos, and that's what you should just follow and just stay tuned because I feel like the breakthrough's here, so let's cheers to that.
And keep up with Nita. Her boo Charles.
Yeah, that's Tales of Jayla. Auntie Nita. You know what? I got to get Auntie Nita her own page, not this thing. Tales of Jayla just not enough for her. Tales of Jayla is the story, but Nita, she done became the star on her own. So, yeah, keep up with Nita because she's a mess and she love all her nieces and nephews, baby.
Thank you so much, Jayla, for taking the time out of your day. I know it took you a little minute. I know we had the tire situation, but you made it, and I appreciate you.
I did, and I was keeping my word. I'm like, girl, I'm coming.
I really thought she was going to cancel, but she's like, I'm coming, and I was like, that's
and
why.
And she calling me. I'm barely looking at my phone because I'm moving around trying to get back.
But
and I'm like, I'm coming.
That's why people like you and I, because that energy does not come around. Like, do you know the amount of times people have canceled on and so used to it? So it's very rare when someone's like, oh, no, I'm coming. And I'm like, what?
I love to keep my word.
I'm so used to quitters and
Really?
people who don't keep their word.
Yeah.
So when I meet someone who's like me, who no matter, like I have to be on my way to the hospital for me to cancel something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if I give you my word, I'm keeping my word.
Yeah.
So thank you for keeping your word.
For sure.
Appreciate
keep
you.
Your word. That's how you keep your face good.
That's
you got to keep a clean face out here. Face card get you when the door money can't.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.